Hello and welcome to another episode of Dominions 5. I'm the False God. We are playing today as Pangea in our Disciples game. We are on turn 37. 37. Let's see what we've got. We finished some easy research targets. Someone has claimed Gartha another throne. That's scary. I think they may have a couple now. Our blood economy is pretty weak, but it's something. Let's see if we got any good battles. Nope. Satis attacking PD. Ubar attacking PD. Satis attacking direwolves. Gets a victory. Satis attacking PD and winning. We have a battle. I think this is not the fort. This is us just trying to reclaim some of our stuff. Okay. So we've got a pretty small group here. We're going to be in some trouble. But I think we will drain them of some resources. Ultimately, right, they're going to spend some blood slaves here. But we are not going to be victorious. Although our mage did make it away. So it's unfortunate. You know, you can see this is sort of the problem I was talking about, right? Where they could all sort of group up, or a lot of them can group up. You know, there's 9 mages here, and 170 other troops, some of which are not terrible. Most of them are terrible, but some are not. No resistance here. Oh, here we go. This looks like a good fight. Sorrow and Ubar. So Sorrow's got a lot of Oryapata. They've got some Witch Kings, they've got Inaris, and they've got their Lancers, it looks like. Ubar has got mostly Jinn Warriors, as well as Guardian of the Forbidden Flames. A couple of those. Jinn Emir, this big Efreet Sultan in the back, and then some random human stuff, the Desert Warriors and the Brazen Guard. If anyone ever gets the chance, they should definitely ask Ubar about the Brazen Guard. He loves the Brazen Guard. We should not have sped that up, so let's go back. Sorry, I did not mean to watch that quite that fast. I was coming from other fights where I was just always hitting that button. So we've got Awakened Tattoos, Communion up, Horde of Skeletons. Immediately get jumped on, but these guys are mostly safe, although they've got this wing is exposed. Power of the Spheres. They're getting some kills. Divine Blessing. Oh, there goes a mage. There's probably some warrior sorceresses in here too. Yeah, an eye shield. And another big whack. Awakened Tattoos. Here comes the Efreet. He's got a horror helmet, a black steel plate. It's Tim. I think we've seen Tim in action before. Mostly the sound effect I'm hearing is dying Oryapata. Reinvigoration, raise dead. They look like they're breaking through. I don't think that they're going to be able to make enough long dead to get them through this. I think now we can fast forward. But I think ultimately we're going to see a lot of chopped up Sarmatian units. Not a lot of survivors out of that one. In fact, there were no survivors at all. So that is 13 mages gone for Sorrow and 42 Oryapata at the cost of 13 Jinn Warrior and 2 Brazen Guard. It's hard to imagine Sarmatia's got much left in the tank after that. We lose a Raider. They have 40 Long Dead Horsemen, a Woodhenge Druid, 3 Inaris. Yeah, we were never going to win that one. This is our battle at the fortress, which is empty. So, big sad there. Nothing really to talk about. And then one more battle where Sorrow dies again. We lose 50% of our attacks, but we gain 375 gold. So that's a trade that we will take, at least in that province. I think we would take that trade in any province. Yeah, because our highest is Pangea, and it's only 400. So, where does that leave us? It leaves us with 2 Zibalban forces left that we need to deal with, as they've lost their entire homeland to the Centaur. So it looks like we're not really going after them this turn. I think we're hoping to catch smaller groups. No, we're not. We're just sneaking around. It would appear that I'm just letting them rampage this turn, and maybe we'll catch them somewhere later. Not sure why I'm doing it this way. We have plenty of forces here. I think we could win. I think I was just nervous about losing anything at this point when I should be so far ahead. But kind of a whoops here. I think we should be doing something more aggressive. With that said, we're going to go take out the villains. And we're moving our big army back to go and either fight Sorrow or fight the rampaging hordes of Zabalba, whichever one we get to first. Sorrow does still have this stack. 90 units, mainly Oreopata. And then Androphags and Cataphracts. Probably a lot of mages, and their god, I think, is here. But yeah, commanded by the Witch King, so not the god. The god's around somewhere, though. But one of those battles Sorrow's lost was a fort. They've lost these territories. They lost this territory. You know, Sorrow's down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. Sorrow is not long for this world. And then, as we discussed, Mictlan is already dead. So, we're not quite at the end of the war yet, but we're getting close. Ubar's taken a commanding province lead now, as he ate all of Mictlan and is getting into Sorrow. Ditto for forts. His income has gone way up. I guess the Sarmatian lands must have been really rich. I mean, he has now at least another third of what we have. Gem income, he's got a huge lead. Research doing well. Satis's army has finally passed mine. But yeah, we're pretty much just we're just wrapping up this war. There's, there's one big army left, but I think we've shown pretty decisively that we're not worried about it. Nothing really crazy in the way we did this. No crazy magic, pretty much just generic alteration out of us. Ubar had some alteration as well. I think they did some big elementals, certainly for the sniping of units. And then Satis also, I think, Horde of Skeletons, which is enchantment. So yeah, I'm pretty uneventful there. We're sort of just killing everybody. We're gonna try and steal somebody from this stronghold. Making a few more bits of gear, casting a bowl of blood, try and do some blood searching for the sites, which we already have a site, but at present it's sort of, is it here? It's here. We could probably, at present we can't really start anything because we got Zib forces right nearby, but it'd be nice to get something started here eventually. It's a 10% bonus, which is not nothing. So yeah, I guess let's go ahead and check out turn 38. This was a pretty chill turn. That's in Beak 38. Ubar has researched Construction 6. This is going to help our research quite a lot. Each one of these, I think, is 15, and we got, let's see, 5, 10, 12. So it's an extra 175, no, 100, 170, 180, 180, if they're 15. Because it's, yeah. So that's pretty darn helpful. That's gonna go a long way. Bowl of Blood, we find nothing. Some more searching, didn't find anything. 17 blood slaves, pretty poor. We have an assassination attempt. We found an Inari. We have some acorns. And we're gonna cast Swarm. He's got Horde of Skeletons. Swarm tends to win these, I think, because you do get the flying bugs. We'll get to the back line. And in this case, they rout them off. But if they don't get there quick enough, your Swarm can definitely get overrun by the undead. But we go ahead and take that. It would have been nicer to seduce that person, but didn't happen. We have a battle against just some villains. I feel good about our chances. Let's see if this is big or not. Big army fighting into nothing. And we have Zib continuing to attack us. Smaller group. We've got just a Minotaur. I think that we're going to struggle against this many long dead. We have a few arrow shots going out. Oh, we got an archer there, or got a mage there. That's pretty nice. I think we got a mage there. Could have just been a commander or something though. No, we got a mage. Way to go, woodsman. That's it for the fights. Except that we got ourselves patrolled out and our dryad died. Which is pretty sad. This is probably predictable and I shouldn't have put the dryad there. But, oops. This is probably about all that Sorrow has left in the world. Fire gems, gold, and misfortune and magic. Which is just misfortune, because we already have all the magic. So, bit sad there. Our research has gone way up. And we're going to go get Alt 7, which is going to give us access to Creeping Doom and Mass Protection, mostly. It also gives us Marble Warriors, which is a pretty darn nice spell. A little bit harder for us to cast than these two, but a very good spell in and of itself. Fog Warriors is trying to spell, hard for us to cast. But it's there. So, yeah, we've moved on to the fort. Here, it was pretty quiet otherwise. We've not managed to catch out the Zabalbans yet, but we're trying. They also, I mean, all of their non-sacreds should be, mages should be deserting as they have no income. We're trying to get some seductions going here. And yeah, otherwise just try and catch them. Here, we need to consolidate. We're doing what we can to patrol this unrest down to get all this extra income out of the Zib capital. Pretty good scales. I think that they're ultimately better. They might be better for income than ours. They don't have as much luck, but they do have one less heat, which is a big difference. Not sure. But eventually we'll try and get our Dominion going. We can see a lot of Lankan forces around us. And we can see Helheim has taken this away. But at the same time, Femoria is sieging Yomi. Yomi appears to be pretty much entirely gone. I mean, that's all we can see of Yomi. Helheim's getting in there with militia. I guess this must be the mercenaries. I guess not. I don't know why there are 50 militia here. That's a weird choice. Looks like Agartha's taken that throne. The Agartha being on thrones near us sucks because their dominion is awful. You can see we got priests trying to get that out. And they're gods here. We're just getting crushed by their terrible, terrible dominion. But I think we'll survive. At least a little bit. So, alright, let's see if we're casting anything cool. Transformation. Okay, so I think I decided, after reading the Discord, that it may be worth it to transform my pans, who I'm planning on using for blood hunting. The thought process is... Alright, let's bring up the transformation spell for anyone who's not immediately familiar. I also need to... There it is. Okay. So the transformation costs 8 gems, but they are nature gems, and we have a lot of nature gems. They transform the caster into a creature. There's a whole table, and you get better creatures the more luck you have, but you can also lose your mind and turn into a misshapen thing. Foul spawn. So you can see, 20%, but it can go up to 23, I believe. It is also different if you're in the water. But what this mainly does is it's going to change the upkeep for us. So we'll no longer have... we'll go ahead and look at some. Like this guy, right, is our regular pan. He has an upkeep of 260 gold per year. That's a lot. You know, that's That's a chunky amount of money to be paying every year. Oh, we're casting transform. We haven't done it yet. Okay, well, we'll look at it next turn. But once they transform, they're going to turn into much, much cheaper chassis in general. There are a couple you can get that are still very expensive. But they also can gain nature paths. They can gain air paths, potentially. You can turn into an Etten. Turn into a Great Eagle. There's a lot of cool things you can turn into. Again, you can also lose your mind and become a foul spawn. But we're just trying. Our upkeep is so high. And we have so many nature gems that I decided for the Blood Hunters, we would do it. The other thing to consider, and why I'm only doing it for the Blood Hunters, is you're probably going to lose a lot of your slots when you turn into an animal. So that's going to impact your combat ability. You will have the animal tag, which in general, there's a couple other ones here, but in general, you get the animal tag. That's going to make you very vulnerable to a lot of bad things that can happen on the battlefield. Your morale, I think, will go down. You do maintain all your paths, but unless you turn into a foul spawn. But so you really don't want the animals in combat in general. Again, there's a couple chassis you can get that are worth it, but that's why we're only going to do it for our Blood 2s, who we're then planning on blood hunting with. I don't know if I mentioned it or if it's just happened, but we also did get a random Blood 3 pan, which is nice. We have a Blood 5 god, or Blood 6 god, so it covers most of the things, so it's not quite as exciting as it might otherwise be, but for the path, it's for cross paths. It's nice. Also, obviously better at blood hunting and casting spells in combat, etc., etc. So, it's a very slim random, if I recall. Not you. Because you have to get that one, so it's 1 out of 2, so 50%. And then 10% of the time, it's 1 out of 3. So it's 1.5% of the time you get a Blood 3 pan. So pretty rare. I don't know exactly how many we've cast, or how many we've created, but it's pretty nice. So yeah, transformations. We're doing some acorns, some more dowsing rods, blood hunting. I'm running around. We'll try and go ahead and sneak one more turn in here. We'll go to turn 39. We get some more Lightless Lanterns. Ubar's got a lot of Lightless Lanterns. Transformation. Something went seriously wrong. But we're still alive, so that's something. I think we're a foul spawn now, though. No, we're a spider. We turned into a tiny spider. But the great part about being a tiny spider is that you can still blood hunt just as well as you could before, and you can still hold a dowsing rod. And our upkeep is now 0. So that's an extra 280. That's an extra pan, more or less. What do they cost? 300, 325. It's most of an extra pan that we can buy every year for 8 nature gems. So that's nice. We also got a swamp drake who's got poison barbs. They all say undisciplined, but I don't think that matters when they're a commander. You can still script this guy just fine. They have more hit points generally in this form as well. If we take a comparison, 27 hit points, but 16 MR, 18 morale, and our new dragon thing, which I've misplaced, only 12 MR. So the MR is a big deal. And then we also got a Great Eagle who picked up an air path. So this obviously is a cross path that we don't have a ton of. These cross paths we don't have a ton of access to, except for our Harpy hero has air nature. But this gives us air earth and air blood. Air blood can be useful for storm demons, but I want to say that we no longer have the slots to make that happen. Storm demon. Yeah, 2 air. So, okay, we do actually. We just need our good friends Ubar to make us a bag of winds, which is really expensive. But we can do it. So yeah, neat cross path to have in general. Also, crazy good chassis. Again, the MR sucks, but more HP, 40 flying movement. So this guy is going to be able to move super fast. We failed to get a seduction here on an Anarchy. So that answers my question from many turns ago of whether or not you can... It always happens that way. And the answer is no. His beast bats are better than our bugs and our little troops. The only thing that might work out for us is if they distract him into casting enough blessings that we somehow get him. But it doesn't look good. And in fact, it is... we got another swarm off, but our bugs got right into melee, so they're not going to fly. And we are going to be overwhelmed and die. So, unfortunate. And I think we tried again on the same Anarchy. And it went exactly as badly as it did the first time. Actually, it went worse. So, we just went ahead and threw a bunch of Dryad lives away. Unfortunate. The big remaining stack of Zabalba takes one of our PD out. Sorrow hits Satis PD. We killed some Zabalbans with no commander. They fled. Took a free province. Sorrow hit us. Killed our stuff. Where was that? That was here. We forgot to put PD down. My bad. What do we got here? I don't know, just a smaller Satis army against a lot of Sarmatia. I don't know if these guys... It's so many archers. Yeah, and there's a vampire. And I'm not going to go well for Satis. They lost all of these people. And they killed basically 0 relevant units because I think the vampires come back. Zib raised 1 PD successfully. And this one might be okay. Capturing this fortress. Not a lot in the way of mages. There's just this one guy who Sabbath mastered up, but he has no buddies. I'm going to go ahead and assume that they were stolen by various nefarious shaitan. That was here. Losing nothing of value. Province income, fire gems, and a nice little treasure. A bunch more money. Ubar loses a Micklin priest to an assassin. It's tough. And upcoming arena battle, which I am sure we're going to promptly ignore. The tricky part of making this guy into a useful unit is that now I'm too afraid to have him go blood hunt, so he's going to stay at home until I figure out what to do with him. We're going to go ahead and raid back out, though. Try and take all this stuff. Where did our big army go? I think our big army is sitting at home. Why are we sitting at home? Is this my big army? Yes, it is. So, okay, the Dryads are leading it. Not those Dryads, though. These Dryads. Okay, they're just we're trying to catch these damn Zabalbans. I don't know. They waited until they were dead to start fighting back, and now we have to fight them. It's obnoxious. Oops. I don't want to fight them. I just want them to be dead. This guy's set up over here so that we can take control of this fort, so that we get access to this desert. This has a lot of cross paths that we do not have access to that Ubar already does. So we're gonna go ahead and try and take that away. Take it away. We're gonna go ahead and be graciously gifted it. So yeah, we're just still trying to march down Sorrow. They expanded out a little bit this turn, but the writing is on the wall there. So let's see if we've got anything cool going on. No, not particularly. Yeah, we're just still sort of we're finishing them off. We're sort of in the digestion phase. I'm gonna catch all their raiders, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. And then we'll have to figure out what our next move is, which we'll discuss in a later video. But thanks everybody for joining me. I will see you all in the next one, and as always, have a great day.